Hello there and a very good afternoon. Welcome to Sports City, your home of sports analysis. You are with me, Bill Clinton ODHIAMBO, and the full team is here with me, of course, this afternoon. From the far end, Mr. ELVIS, karibu sana, and also Mr. FELIX MAKONA joining us this afternoon. Kumbuka sa language interpreter is Jedida Awafula. Now, gentlemen, how are you guys doing? Let me start with you, ELVIS.
I've always been good, and I thank God.
Right.
Because I've seen the year 2024 and it has started well, and also in the football field it has also really started well, and most of you viewers, you know my name, but the most important thing is follow us on our socials so that you can give us your opinion and comments, and tell us, also give us your opinions on what you agree on what you don't agree on with us. Our socials are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also YouTube.
Asante sana ELVIS, karibu sana Mr. FELIX. Ukoaje ndugu?
Yeah, I'm also fine. Always football is health. Sports is health.
Right.
Without football, maybe you may have some problems. So football really helps us in matters health and lifestyle. So it is another great opportunity to start a weekend with full of sports, full of games, and that is nice. That's very nice.
All right, thank you so much. Just like ELVIS has mentioned, kumbuka, our channels of communication are officially open. 0111 980 384 is our SMS and WhatsApp line. Talk to us through our through the socials. Kumbuka pia ndani ya Facebook Science TV Kenya, and later on you can catch up with us pale ndani ya YouTube. Subscribe, follow, and like, share as well. Science TV Kenya, follow for more content. That is as far as Science TV content is concerned. But then again, gentlemen, a lot of action this weekend. Of course, yesterday we started off with some FA Cup action. Currently, the cup holders, Manchester City, dominating over Tottenham and bundle them out of the race. But then again, so far, we are seeing a lot of action also today. Tukona, a lot of to look out for as far as the FA Cup is concerned. Jana pia tuliona Chelsea, they are going to play another replay with Aston Villa because ilisha 0-0. Now that is what one of the also enticing matches to look up for next week. But then again, remember the African Cup of Nations took quite a little break, Dogo, just before they started off the round of 16 that is starting off tonight. Big games. Cameroon pale, they are in action against Nigeria. Tuko na Angola also in action against Namibia. So talk to us pale kwa socials. Do you believe, how do you think the teams are going to play out this evening? Also remember KPL last week, we had entertaining games. Gor Mahia, the current champions, went ahead to continue their games unbeaten, winning 1-0 against Tusker. Of course, this weekend our Chelsea, but then again to Chambua to just see how they are preparing for next weekend. Kumbuka, Tusker have been going, they have revamped themselves. They are also trying to catch up the top four as far as reclaiming the title is concerned. And also the big news as we speak right now, the fact that Liverpool's current head coach, Jurgen Klopp, will be ending his career with the club at the end of the season. We're going to talk about some of his achievements so far. Remember, they're still in the thick of things as far as getting the silverware is concerned. Wako ndani ya FA, wako ndani ya Carabao, ndani ya Europa, as well as the Premier League that they are currently topping. So that is interesting to see how gentlemen will give us your thoughts and opinions regarding to that. But then again, ladies and gentlemen, tuanze ama namna gani? Kabisa. Let's start with the FA Cup action. Yesterday, let's start with the Manchester City and Tottenham. Of course, many anticipated that it would be a game of many goals, mabao hapa na pale. But then again, it was a silent one, despite the fact that City could have won with two goals or more, because VAR intervened one of their goals, probably first half, courtesy of the youngster Bob Williams. But it deemed he was offside. But then again, later on, we saw Nathan Ake capitalizing on a set piece provided by Kevin De Bruyne back in action for Manchester City. Now waliweza kufunga bao moja sasa imewapropel to the next round. And let me start with you, Felix. First of all, did you anticipate a silent game, a silent end from the Tottenham's side? They were at home, well, they had all the advantage. Ange Postecoglou, of course, the new manager for Tottenham, he has that experience with the team. Actually, to expect a fungi about at least mbili ama moja. How did you assess the overall performance of the game?
Yeah, I will say that always Manchester City is a tough team to play against it. So Tottenham, what they did mostly was just defending. So you see, Man City scored from set pieces.
Right.
Tottenham were hard to beat. City could have won easily if they could have played possession. If they could have possessed the ball, then they attack when necessary. But City, they always try to attack, to press. And Tottenham, you see, they are good at defending. They are good at least making sure they don't concede a lot of goals.
Right.
So I could say that Manchester City tried really hard, because if you look at the history, Manchester City has not won easily at the Tottenham Stadium.
Yes.
You see, so yesterday they were trying to at least put away the belief that they always lose at the Tottenham Stadium. So they tried at least to win, at least to show their fans, to show the world that at Tottenham Stadium we are not always been beaten. We can win at least sometime. So I think they changed the people's mind that Tottenham. You see, many people believe that the game could end in a draw or Tottenham win. But at least Manchester City showed their strength by at least beating them 1 goal. You see, the goal scored by Bob Williams. That goal was good, but at least it looked like onside, but again it was offside because of VAR. But Manchester City, you see, in that game they believed in the academy so much, so that they put in Rico Lewis, Bob Williams, and I could say Manchester City is overall good.
It's overall good.
If you compare the academy and the first team, when they mix, they bring good results. They are a good team to play. All
right, thank you so much. Overall good, Elvis. Can you agree with that? The fact that, you know, Tottenham, they understand they're playing against the current champions, but then again, could they have done more to try and give them that pressure to try and stay in the FA Cup?
Okay, thank you so much. I don't agree with him, because Tottenham, they have been always beating Man City, and they have good players, and also Man City also have good players. And also when it comes to Tottenham, they are good in defending, and also they have that spirit of pushing people to go and attack. So most of the time you find that they always defend to help the goalkeeper. And most of the time the goalkeeper is also not sleeping. He tells them, he pushes them to go forward.
Right.
So for example, we have Son.
Right.
Most of the time you find that they're always playing at the center and also distributing the ball from the center. And they're very much powerful. But for me, I can say that Tottenham, let me just say that Tottenham will get another opportunity at the Europa. So for me, I think Man City, most of the time they use corners to score. And it was just, they were just lucky.
Right.
Why not, maybe for example, Haaland did not score, meaning that they were just lucky, and the defense of Tottenham was very much strong. And Tottenham know very well the tactics of Haaland, how he plays, so that's why they were able to man him very well. And there was this guy who really assisted. For me, I feel it was the corner was just by luck, a chance of luck. And we saw that they also had an offside. So I might say that that goal, that it was an offside, the goalkeeper was not alert. So an advice to Tottenham, they should also practice more. But both teams are good and both teams are strong. It's just that Man City was very much lucky because Tottenham's defense is not a joke, and also they have that spirit. And for Haaland, they have that spirit of pushing their players to go forward.
Right.
That's why it was very much hard for Haaland to maneuver around and try and score. Because for Tottenham, they've been watching all the Man City games, and they're able to identify who they will be able to man so that they cannot score. So I'm not sure if Man City will take the FA Cup again. So that's just my opinion.
Right, without a doubt, it's still quite early to call it whether Manchester City can try and go ahead and claim the title. Remember the other games, Aston Villa, and Chelsea are still replaying their game. We're going to talk about that in a bit. But then again, other teams are still in the thick of it. We have Manchester United still playing on Sunday. So there's still a lot of teams into the fray so far. So we cannot still call it. But let me just ask you before we proceed to Chelsea, Mr. Felix. Now we have the fact that we know the fact that now Tottenham, despite the 1-0 defeat by City, clearly some of their players are already coming back. We have James Maddison already back with the squad. They are seemingly now back together. The same Tottenham that we saw starting off the season. Now that they are now more focused on the EPL, is it safe to say that tutafaa kuogopa sasa because sasa hawana pressure mingi? They're not in the FA. So now they're going to take their energy back to the EPL and try to get into the top 4 of the teams.
What I will say about Tottenham, Tottenham is a good club. They play really nice football. But when it comes to bench, Tottenham has no bench. You see, winning titles and winning the English Premier League requires that you have a strong squad. The one that starts the first 11, the second 11. But Tottenham, you see, when Maddison is injured, there is no perfect player to replace him.
Yes.
When a player like Young Son Min is injured, there is no perfect.
They will struggle. Yes.
They will struggle. So, despite their injuries, they can come strong. But if they receive one setback of another injury, it will also take them some time for them to recover, or for the other player who replaces the injured player to catch up with the game.
Yes.
So you see, it will take them a lot of time. It is like Arsenal. I will say the truth. It's like Arsenal. Arsenal is a big club, but when you look at last season, they lost the Premier League to Manchester City because of the squad. They didn't have a bench. You see, Manchester City. Let's use an example of Doku and Grealish. When Doku is on the bench, Grealish is playing.
Right.
Those are two world-class players. And Arsenal, let's use for example Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka, when he's injured or is not playing, is replaced by Nelson. You cannot compare Nelson, the quality of Nelson and Grealish, or the quality of Nelson and Doku. So you see, Tottenham, I will say that they have a greater squad. They are good. First 11 is perfect, but again, if you go on the bench,
winning titles
will be a problem to them because they don't have a player who can come from the bench and change the result if they are losing or if they are drawing.
All right. Thank you so much for that opinion. Of course, a team that has squad depth, that has a full bench is Chelsea. But then again, they were held to a 0-0 draw against Aston Villa. This then commands that they are going to have a replay sometime next week. When you look at how Chelsea coming up before facing Aston Villa, 5-1 against Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
That is a confident performance. Aston Villa, of course, also came on the back of a win as well to play against Chelsea yesterday. But then again, we did not see any results between the two sides. Maybe Elvis, if I can start with you on this one, do you think the replay now, are we going to see more goals, or this is a trend that we're going to see with Chelsea where they're still not fully constituted as far as getting results is concerned? One game they're performing, the other game they're nowhere to be seen, because yesterday they had a full squad, you know, a good squad to get results, both sides, even Aston Villa. But then again, what are we going to see when we're going to see the replay between the two sides?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I feel.
Chelsea is a strong team than Aston Villa because they've really improved when it comes to their confidence and also their participation. But yesterday I did watch the game, and Chelsea really had a lot of pressure, and they were not creating enough chances for them to score. But Aston Villa, when we talk about Aston Villa, they were really confident about the game. So, no, maybe Chelsea is really saving their energy to play against Liverpool. Or I don't know, maybe it was just luck for Aston Villa, because if it's confidence, they have the confidence. And for Aston Villa, they really have the pressure because they are in several leagues. For Chelsea, it's a big team, but when it comes to their positioning, they're not just serious.
Right.
But for Aston Villa, when it comes to their positioning, they're okay. And also, I'll repeat, the confidence is just on another level. And when they were at home and they still didn't manage to get a goal, but I feel that when they play against Aston Villa, when Aston Villa are at home, Aston Villa will get at least a goal.
Okay.
Because when it comes to controlling the game, Aston Villa, they're really good at that, because when you look at their defense and their mid, they're just okay, and they don't have that pressure. So for me, I believe that they've really improved, because coming out with a draw of 0 is just unimpressive. So I feel that in the second leg, Aston Villa is going to beat Chelsea, because they don't have that pressure like what Chelsea really have right now. So maybe they can use different tricks and tactics to just beat Arsenal, even when it comes to getting the ball and moving around with the ball. I feel that Aston Villa are better than Chelsea.
Right. What about you, Felix? Do you believe the second in the replay? Aston Villa have, just like Elvis has mentioned, Aston Villa has this tendency of kukalia the top teams. So this time around, you can say Chelsea, waliponea. But then again, do you also agree the fact that Chelsea are back into action, are back into getting results, and that's why wanakazia Aston Villa? Or how do you see the replay going?
First of all, I will say Aston Villa is a team that is rising. It has a lot of good players. In the EPL this season, I saw it beat Manchester City, Arsenal. Manchester United, I think they won. Manchester United won against. So what I will say is that Chelsea is not an issue to Aston Villa.
Right.
Chelsea, remember yesterday, before VR cancelled their goal, Aston Villa were winning.
Yes.
So I would say that in the second leg, when they face Aston Villa again, remember they will be at their home. Chelsea will be away.
Yes.
So what I will say, Chelsea, it is either a draw or Aston Villa win, because Aston Villa, you see, their recent performance shows that this team is determined. They want to win at least something. this season. So because they are out of Carabao Cup, they are out of any other cup, they cannot, let me say, they may not win the Premier League. So they will at least go for the FA. And that is where I have confidence in them that they can beat Chelsea in when they face them again later next month. So I could give them just a 1-0 win against Chelsea, and that will be because Chelsea will have a belief that this team we are going to beat them, and Aston Villa will come with that belief that we want to win at least something. So the ambition of Aston Villa will be higher than that of Chelsea, and that will make them win the game.
All right. Let us know, Pale, in the comment section. Do you agree with the team? Do you believe that Aston Villa can go up and disappoint Chelsea in the replay come next week? Another team in action was the Bristol City and Nottingham Forest, but they played out a 0-0 draw, and on Monday they'll be playing their replay action. And many believe that Nottingham Forest watakuwa nyumbani. Bristol City is a championship side. Nottingham Forest are experience kidogo. Maybe they can try and come out and get the champions. If they draw again between the two sides, then they'll be forced to go out through to the penalties, and we'll get a winner out of that. Today we have some of the actions going down. Ipswich Town are at home welcoming the likes of Maidstone United, and we have another two teams in the Premier League squaring off this evening. Brighton and Sheffield. Sheffield wako nyumbani welcoming Brighton. How do you see this panning out, Felix?
I see Brighton winning 2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
Kwa nini?
You see, Brighton. Brighton is a good team, by the way, compared to Sheffield United. Sheffield United has no experience in the Premier League. Is from the Championship, so just give Brighton
the benefit of doubt.
That benefit of doubt.
Kabisa. Elvis, do you support the same statement? Brighton against Sheffield?
Yes.
Wasi kabisa. What about Leicester? This is one of the sides pia inacheza against Birmingham. Leicester Birmingham, whom do you see it taking off with the win?
Leicester must win.
Right.
Because when they were playing in the EPL, they were very a strong team, and they were a strong team when they were playing in the EPL.
Right.
So for me, I believe that they will get the chance to win. For me, I believe that Leicester is going to win because it's a strong team.
Sawa. Maybe another team, maybe two teams also in the Premier League is squaring off tonight. We have Fulham and Newcastle, gentlemen. What about Fulham and Newcastle, Elvis? Fulham wako nyumbani.
Happy.
For me, I think Fulham has really improved.
Right.
And right now they're very strong because they played against Man City and they beat Man City, right? And also they played against Chelsea. For Newcastle, when they played against Manchester United, they divided the goals.
Right.
But for Fulham, it's not that. They feel that maybe it's not just a strong team and maybe they want to go home.
Right.
But for me, I would really support Fulham because they have the confidence and they've really improved very hard and they're really trying. So I don't have any doubt. I feel that I have the confidence. Maybe when there's going to be a lose, maybe a 1-0.
Okay.
But they're really motivated in the FA Cup than the Newcastle team.
Right.
For Newcastle, they might win against another team.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you, Felix? Do you think Newcastle has been on a stalemate for the past couple of games they have played, or so many people feel because ni kama wameshuka kidogo as far as giving out positive performances is concerned? Do you believe against a team like Fulham they are going to have a rough time?
I think for Newcastle they are a bit down nowadays. But again, giving Fulham a straight win could be wrong for me because you see, beating Newcastle, although they are down, isn't easy. But let me say, if they may win, it will be by luck.
All right.
So I go for Fulham to win 2-0 because Newcastle can be beaten. You see, Newcastle can perform against big teams, let's say Manchester City, Arsenal, Newcastle.
Right.
But when it comes to small teams, you see they may get up being beaten anytime, anywhere. But
But remember, Arsenal have never beaten Newcastle. So don't give that as an excuse.